Welcome in here to the 2018 USA South Softball Tournament. Early 1-0 lead for Averett after a solo shot by Caitlin Aheron. A leadoff solo home run to start the action here in this game between the Piedmont Lions and the Cougars of Averett University. Melissa Ekman working in the circle for Piedmont, facing Ashley Carbajal, the second baseman for the Cougars. Danielle Percival and Drew Wilson on the call for you today. Pitch is fouled off down the third base line for a 2-2 count.
I apologize for the technical difficulties. We missed the first batter, but I think we got everything ready to roll here for the rest of the game.
Busy week of action here with the USA South Spring Sports Festival. Of course, for all information, you can tune into usasouth.net. A strikeout for Carbajal, completed with the throw down to first. One out on the board now, which will bring up Amanda Wright.
Now batting for 23, Amanda Wright.
Wright, a senior for the Cougars. Enters with a .266 batting average.
Wright, the lone senior on this Cougars team, made her way into the starting lineup late in the season and found a home in right field.
Josie Coker working behind the plate for Piedmont will head out to have a word with Ekman. Looking at the infield for the Lady Lions, Hannah Hoban working at first, Allison Gentry at second, TK Sauls the shortstop, and handling the hot corner is Becca Ross in the outfield from left to right. Marianne Kinnison, Haley McCurry, and Haley Hickson. Two-0 count. This time Ekman finds the zone, making it a 2-1 count now. Early start here, getting underway just after 10 o'clock this morning. Pair of games taking place on each field, dual site at the Shuford Softball Complex here in LaGrange, Georgia. Ekman's 3-1 delivery misses outside, and Wright will take her base, which will bring up the cleanup hitter, Andrea Grant.
For the Cougars, number 4, Andrea Grant.
Grant earned USA South All-Conference East Division second team honors as the DP.
Grant takes ball one. Working against Melissa Ekman, the pitcher of the year in the USA South. Ekman's pitch finds the zone to even it up. Ekman becoming the first player in the USA South to take Rookie Pitcher of the Year honors and earn Pitcher of the Year twice more in her career as a junior working in circle.
Phenomenal season for Ekman. Finished 15-6 overall with a 1.95 earned run average in 140 innings. Had 92 strikeouts as well.
Popped up, Josie Coker giving chase. She'll throw down to second and try to get the runner, and able to do so. So a pop-up to the catcher by Andrea Grant, and then Wright retired at second to bring the top of the first to a close. But the Cougars are able to score one run on one hit as Aheron goes yard to get things started. A solo home run to lead off the game. We head to the bottom of the first with Averett leading it 1-0. Lady Lions coming to the plate. Caitlin Heron does it all for the Cougars. Helps her cause as she's working in the circle today. Brings in an 8-9 record. Responsible for the lone run on the board as the Lady Lions head to the plate for their first opportunity working in the bottom of the first. Allison Gentry, second baseman for Piedmont, set to lead off.
Gentry batted .296 on the season. Started all 37 games for the Lions.
Fouls off that pitch back toward one of the adjacent fields over the home dugout. 1-1 count. Looking for the inside edge and finds the inside half of the plate for strike 2 as a Heron works ahead in the count now. Gentry patient will take ball 2 to work it to an even count now. Gorgeous morning here with a few clouds in the sky, but a wonderful day to be out for some softball. That one tacked out down the first base line. It will be just this side of fair territory, however.
Definitely beautiful weather. Hopefully we can keep it throughout the weekend. I know rain is possible in the forecast as we go along in this tournament, and it'd be nice if it stayed away.
Enjoy it while you got it, right?
That's right.
2-2 pitch from a Heron, fouled right back behind the plate. Gentry, Kinnison, and Coker, first 3 up for Piedmont here in the first inning. Once again, the 2-2 pitch, and Gentry retired on the strikeout swinging. First out on the board will bring up Marianne Kinnison. Kinnison has been a stellar player for the Lady Lions this year in her first season with the squad, a junior outfielder batting .426 on the season.
And Aaron just elected to not throw that one. I don't think anybody was there covering in time, so it will be a bunt single for Kinnison.
Josie Coker.
Josie Coker, the catcher for Piedmont, now due up, the third hitter in the order. First hit of the day for the Lady Lions comes off the bat of Kinnison. Runner goes on the pitch, but popped up, and coming over to make the play in foul territory is Collins. So we pop up to the shortstop. Will retire Coker. Kinnison holds it first. Now 2 outs on the board for the designated player, Jessica Bagwell.
Bagwell batted just a little bit under 400. Had batted .395 on the season.
Kinnison thought about going. It's ball 1 to Bagwell. Bagwell earning an all-conference spot at the DP position as she and Coker split time pretty evenly between the catcher and designated player position. Fouls off that pitch, and it's going to be a close call for the fans in the stands for our adjacent game, as that landed right at the feet of the fans over there. So a heads-up play.
So one thing about playing at these complexes, they're all back-to-back. You never know. You got to stay, keep your eyes wide open. You never know when a ball's going to come flying in.
Never a dull moment. 1-2 count for Bagwell. A Heron's pitch looks for the inside edge, just a bit inside on Bagwell. Even count now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 on. Kinnison aboard at first after a bunt single. Once more, Bagwell will tap it foul. 2-2 pitch. Again, Bagwell just does get it out of the complex. A nice grab by a fan in the stands. And he'll toss it back into the complex. Once again, 2s across the board. Averett leading it 1-0, working in the bottom of the first. Bagwell patient, takes ball 3 as it looked good coming across the plate, just a bit outside the zone. Full count. And once again, Bagwell will send it out into the concourse area. Two games currently in action. You can stay up to date on all schedule information for all things USA South at usasouth.net. Follow the USA South on Twitter at USA_South. Stay up to date on results and schedules. Payoff pitch this time right into the glove of the second baseman, Carbajal, and the Lady Lions retired. No runs scored on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. We head to the second inning. Averett leads it 1-0. Back with action here in the second inning. You're watching the 2018 USA South Softball Tournament coming to you from LaGrange, Georgia, here at Shuford Complex. Ekman working in the circle, throws strike 1 to Nicole Cawthon.
Cawthon led the Cougars with 28 runs batted in this season. Batted .263.
Swings through that one as Ekman works ahead in the count. 0-2. Cawthon in the 5th spot in the order. 0-2 pitch. And Coker frames it well, gets a good call, and Cawthon retired
Now
on the
batting number
strikeout.
1, Mackenzie Collins.
That'll bring up Mackenzie Collins, shortstop who made the, well, did not make the grab. That was in the infield, but it was on the opposite side.
Had it been on her
second.
side, she would have made it.
There you go. It's strike
She
1.
did catch the pop-up in foul territory, though.
There we go. I knew I'd called her name once today. Hey, it's early. We've been doing this for a while. You might be just tuning in, but we are already primed and ready here. It's an 0-2 count after that one in foul territory.
Collins, a freshman, has started every game at shortstop this season for the Cougars.
Impressive to see a freshman able to work their way into the order for a team that's seen lots of success. Really speaks to Collins and her ability. Popped up, calling for it will be the left fielder, and Marianne Kinnison will make the grab for the second out on the board.
Now batting number 17, Casey Cook.
That'll bring up the sophomore Casey Cook for Avert, batting .212 on the year.
Left order, number 7, Madeline Ames.
Cook showed bunt, pulled back, and we'll take ball 1. .1-0 pitch. Finds the outside edge. And we'll even up the count. Coker giving the signal to Ekman. Popped up, fading back and calling for it will be TK Sauls, who will make the grab 2 steps onto the grass. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. 3 up, 3 down, and we head to the bottom of the second. Averett leads it 1-0. Hannah Hoban set to lead off for Piedmont here in the bottom of the second. Piedmont, the designated home team, with the Cougars, the visitors.
Roll, keep it rolling. I love it.
Swings on the first pitch she sees. It's going to be another grab by the shortstop, Mackenzie Collins, right there on the left field
Now
line.
Number 11, Becca Ross.
Brings up Becca Ross, third baseman for Piedmont. First pitch and a called strike 1. Ross will maybe just get a piece of it for an 0-2 count. Ross listed as a junior on the roster, but will be graduating in December, so honored as a senior, completing her final year of playing with the Lady Lions. And retired on 3 straight pitches.
Now
Goes down
batting
swinging.
12, Haley
We'll bring up
McCurry.
Haley McCurry, the center fielder.
That's the second strikeout on the day for Aaron and in the circle. Now up to 103 on the season.
Impressive numbers. And can get it done at the plate as well. One 0 after that pitch rides high. Gets her to swing through it once more and evens it up. 1-1.
Third baseman, number 1, Brittany Buckland.
2 outs, 2 up, 2 down. Cook holds it in and gets the call, and it's a 1-2 count. A Heron looking for strikeout number 3 of the day. And she'll get it. That'll send McCurry to the dugout. 3 up, 3 down. Averett leads it 1-0 as we head to the third inning. You're watching the 2018 USA South Softball Tournament from LaGrange, Georgia. Back with action in the top of the third inning. Averett leading it 1-0 over Piedmont here in Game 1 at the 2018 USA South Softball Tournament. Of course, the first round taking place last weekend. Both these teams advancing. Top 6 teams making their way here to LaGrange. But Becca Ross sends it over to first. The catch not made at first. We'll wait for the official scoring on the play. But Griffiths will be aboard at first.
And will be an error on the muffed catch by the first baseman.
Back to the bottom of the order. Number 20, Essence Pulliam coming up.
And Pulliam did offer at that pitch, so it was a called strike, trying to lay down the bunt.
See the infield pulled in for Piedmont with second baseman Allison Gentry just about even with Ekman. Shows bunt once more, makes contact, but it is fouled back, so an 0-2 count now for Pulliam. Griffiths at first, reaching on the error as the leadoff batter here in the third inning.
We'll slap it over the top of the second baseman's head.
Nice piece of hitting by Pulliam, taking advantage of where the defense was settled as Gentry pulled in from second, expecting the short hit, trying to get a sacrifice and move the runner over, able to just bloop it right over her head, and now 2 on with nobody out.
And that'll bring up Aaron, who led off the game with a solo home run to center field. Now has another opportunity to help the Cougars add to their lead with a runner in scoring position. First pitch in there for a strike.
A 1 pitch looking for the inside half, not able to paint the black, and just a bit outside for a 1-1 count. 2 on, nobody out. Top of the third. Pitch rides high, and now a 2-1 count.
Aaron trying to add to some of her magical moments here in the conference tournament. Led the Cougars to the USA South Championship here last season. Was named the MVP of the tournament as a freshman.
Ekman's 3-1 offering will be low, and a walk conceded to a Heron. Bringing up Ashley Carbajal with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Carbajal, another solid freshman for the Cougars, batted .333 during the regular season.
Popped up right toward the pitcher, and Ekman will camp under it in the circle and make the play for the first out.
Up to bat,
Carbajal
23, Amanda
0 for
Wright.
2, bringing up Amanda Wright, who was walked back in the first, retired at second on a double play. First pitch finds the inside half for strike 1. Wright swings through, and it's an 0-2 count now. Ekman trying to get out of a jam, loads the bases with nobody out, now 1 out on the board. Gets the signal from Coker, and the 0-2 delivery outside. Coker keeps it from dribbling past and causing concern, allowing the Cougars to advance. Swing through for a strikeout for Wright. Coker throws down to third,
Now batting number 4,
but
Andrea
nothing
Grant.
doing. Bases loaded with 2 outs now for Andrea Grant. Grant popped up to Coker in her first at bat. Coker with the heads-up play down to second to get the runner on base. 1-0 count.
Second baseman, number 19, Carlos Ogden.
Ekman trying to work out of this jam. It would be a phenomenal thing to get out of here without giving up a run after loading the bases.
Strike 1 will even the count for Piedmont. Pitching staff has really been the concern throughout the year, with just 4 pitchers on the roster. I believe 3 that are able to play this weekend. So it's been a concern. That one's sent out into foul territory, and it'll be out of the complex. So with the tournament setting and knowing that you've got to play multiple games over the course of a couple days, needing your starter to be able to work out of a jam like this, certainly a big spot for the junior, and able to get the job done. Loads the bases with nobody out, able to put 3 outs on the board for the next 3 batters. Lady Lions coming to the plate in the bottom of the third, trailing by 1. Averett leads it 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. TK Sauls leading off for Piedmont in the bottom of the third. Averett leads at 1-0. First pitch in for strike 1.
Aaron trying to work that outside corner.
This time looking for the inside half, doesn't get the call, and it's a 1-1 count. Saul's the 8th hitter in the order for the Lady Lions, with Haley Hickson waiting on deck, Allison Gentry in the hole. Talked about some freshmen working in for the Cougars. TK Saul's a freshman that's made her way into a starting role for Piedmont. Spent most of her time at shortstop this year. It's been a little bit of a changing situation and a revolving door where we've seen Saul's at shortstop, Marianne Kinnison at shortstop. Kinnison spent some time out in left field. We've even seen her play some third base, so has found her way into the order and will find her way on base with a leadoff walk.
Daniel, it's always impressive when a freshman can come in and play a middle infielder position. And some of those are, you consider, if you look at generally, some of your best players are your shortstops or maybe even second basemen. So it's always impressive when a freshman can come in and play that role. And we see both teams today have freshmen at shortstop. Cougars with 2 freshmen in the middle of the infield. I think it says a lot to their abilities as players.
Absolutely, not only being able to find their way into the field defensively, but earning their keep and earning a spot in the order as well. Hickson will take ball 1. Hickson, a lefty, had primarily been a slap hitter over the course of the season, ended up just squaring up and deciding to hit it and found some success. Tries to bunt that one, but it does go foul and head back. Had the opportunity to talk to her about it, and they were down on the road at LaGrange and at Huntingdon, and she had been talking with the coaching staff and ended up just trying to fire away and found some success on the road at Huntingdon. So then it's kind of been more situational for her, of course, now with the possibility of a sack bunt. Shows bunt, but it pulls back and takes a 2-1 count.
Coming into today, she's batting .286 on the season.
Makes contact, sends it right back to the pitcher, but called upon for the sacrifice bunt, and that's exactly what she'll have as Hickson advances Sauls into scoring position. Gets a high five from head coach Terry Martin on her way back to the dugout.
Ellison, Gentry.
In a tournament setting, every run counts. If you can put somebody in scoring position, give your chance to, if you're Piedmont down 1, tie this up, be huge for you going into the rest of the game.
Playing a little small ball. Back to the top of the order, Gentry sends one out deep in the outfield. Running over, making the grab is going to be the left fielder, Mallory Griffiths. So 1 pitch, and Gentry retired, bringing up Marianne Kinnison. Kinnison, a junior, but playing for her first season under head coach Terry Martin. Transferred in. Has been a power hitter for Piedmont. Makes contact, but fouled back into the mitt for strike 1. Kinnison with 6 home runs this season and a total of 18 extra base hits. Sends that one deep, causing her to run back. Not able to make the grab. The right fielder right having to go back to the wall. Kinnison making her way all the way to third. Sauls comes around to score, and this one's tied at 1 here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Just good contact there by Kinnison, and the ball just kept going. Almost looked like it might have a chance to get out of here, and kind of ducked in right at the fence. Man to right, tried to track it all the way back to the fence, but falls in, and as you said, we have a tie ball game here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Now batting number 3, Josie Coker.
Josie Coker hitting well for the Lady Lions as well, with a .432 batting average coming into the game. Spending her time behind the plate. We'll take strike 1. Coker with 8 doubles so far this season, tied for 2nd most on the team. Oh, 1 pitch from a Heron popped up. That'll be fouled off. 0-2 count now for Coker. Coker popped up to the shortstop in foul territory in her first plate appearance. Able to hold her swing as that pitch low for ball 1. One-two offering, a swing and a miss, and another strikeout for a Heron. But we head to the 4th inning with the game tied at 1 after the Lady Lions able to put a run across on a triple by Marianne Kinnison to score TK Sauls. We head to the 4th, tied at 1. You're watching the 2018 USA South Softball Tournament in LaGrange, Georgia. Starting the 4th inning, game tied at 1 here as the Cougars of Averett University taking on the Lions of Piedmont College. Danielle Percival and Drew Wilson on the call for you. First pitch to Cawthon, called strike 1. One count.
All right.
He called a strike. It looked like it was a bit high, but I thought I saw him throw up the signal. That's going to be a little Texas leaguer just over the head of the infield. And Cawthon in with her first hit of the day. Mackenzie Collins now the shortstop. Stepping in, flew out to left in her first at bat. Showing bunt. Pulls back. Bunt once more. Hoban sends it over to Gentry covering first. Sacrifice bunt will put 1 out on the board and 1 in scoring position.
More small ball, as we saw last inning with Piedmont moving runner over into scoring position, and it turned out to pay off for the Lions, who followed with a RBI triple.
Cook showed bunt as well. We'll take a high ball 1. Drew, you and I were talking during the last break in the action between the half inning how evenly matched this game has been so far. Coming into the inning, it was 2 hits for both sides, 1 run, both pitchers with 4 strikeouts. It's really been an exciting game to watch. These two really evenly matched teams providing some good softball here for the conference tournament.
Absolutely. It's that tournament atmosphere, everybody steps up their game and wants to get their team to the next advance, especially double elimination. So you want to stay in the winner's bracket here.
On a 3-0 count, Ekman finds the zone.
So important to stay in the winner's side if you can, because You saves your pitching, play less games. You don't have to fight your way back.
Hard rip. Fouled off down the left field line. Full count now for Cook. Shows bunt. Runner on second. Will pull back and will take her base. Runners at first and second now.
Now batting for
Cawthon at
number
second,
9,
Cook at
Mallory
first.
Griffiths.
Mallory Griffiths due up for the Cougars. Reached on an error by the first baseman in her first plate appearance to lead off the third inning.
Probably see Griffiths try to bunt the runners over. Being a slap hitter, that's kind of her game, is just kind of move the runners over if she can. So infield obviously playing in to guard against that. Not showing bunt though right there, taking a pitch outside for a ball.
1-0 count with 1 out and 2 on. Ekman's offering, looking for the outside edge. She'll get the call, and it's a 1-1 count, evened up. Infield playing in with Ross pulled in from third, Gentry pulled in from second. Swinging away, but it's a swing and a miss and a 1-2 count. We're working at the top of the fourth inning, tied at 1. Ekman facing Griffiths, low and away for ball 2. Two-two pitch, fouled back as Griffiths fights one off. Full count now for Griffiths. 1 out, 2 on. Cawthon had a single to lead off the inning. Collins with a sac bunt put her on. And the payoff pitch will miss to load the bases. Cook advances to second with Griffiths on first. Cawthon making her way to third. And we'll have a meeting at the circle as assistant coach Brooke Yarborough will head out to have a word with her infield. Coach Martin will have a word with the outfield. 1-1 game. But once again, we see the Lady Lions load the bases. This time, 1 out on the board. Melissa Ekman able to get out of a jam once. Certainly hard to do twice.
And she did it last time with no outs on the board. So 1 out on the board, this should be a piece of cake for her.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Essence Pulliam due up for the Cougars and back to the top of the lineup. But Ekman able to get out of the jam last time, going through the heart of the order for the Cougars. So
4 strikeouts for Ekman so far in this contest, but also 4 walks, 2 of those coming
Number 20,
in this
Essence
inning
Pulliam.
as back-to-back walks to Cook and Griffiths.
Center fielder, number 17, Erica Mack.
Pulliam had a single in her first at-bat. RBI opportunity, if she can put it in play here, takes strike 1.
yeah, she had that little looper over Gentry's head that fell in after she was playing in early. So infield not playing as in right there.
Just gets a piece of it, will foul back behind home plate. So quickly an 0-2 count for Pulliam. Taps it back and again fouled back behind home plate. 0-2 pitch from Ekman will get her to chase outside. Once again, they'll throw down to third. And Ross and
Now batting number
Cawthon
16, Caitlin
got a little tangled up there.
Ahern.
2 outs on the board, bases loaded. And what do you know, back to the top of the order. And this could be trouble.
And
Haley Hickson back to make the grab for Piedmont. About 3 steps from the wall. Ekman, twice in the game, has gotten out of a bases-loaded jam. No runs scored on 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left on as we head to the home half of the 4th. Your score tied at 1. Back in the bottom of the 4th, tied at 1. Everett and Piedmont. Jessica Bagwell will swing on the first pitch she sees. Fading back and making the over-the-shoulder grab is Essence Pulliam.
looked like Pulliam had a beat on that
Number 34,
out to center
Hannah
field, but
Hoban.
the wind kind of kicked up right as it was getting to her, and she had to kind of play it and did a good job tracking it to make the catch for the first out.
Absolutely. Wind kind of whipping around, blowing out to center, a little to left center. Hannah Hoban will take ball 1 inside. 1 out on the board. Tied at 1. This game 1 of the USA South softball tournament action here in LaGrange. Ripped toward third. Could be trouble. Is she able to outrun it? Not in time. And a 5-3 ground out will retire Hoban. Gave Grant some trouble there. She had to locate it at her feet.
Now batting
Able to
number
recover
11,
in time and make the out.
A very hard shot. Grant was just lucky to get a glove down on it and able to stay with it and make the throw over to first base just in the nick of time to get the out.
Strike 1 to Ross. Ross struck out swinging back in her first at bat. 1 of 4 strikeouts in the game for Ahern. Fouled off. That one sent back over toward the visiting fans at our second field. O2 pitch rides high above the letters for ball 1. Nobody on, 2 outs. Quick 2 up, 2 down so far for the Lady Lions. makes contact, sent out into left field. Get out of here, ball. Becca Ross with a home run. And the senior playing her final year for the Lady Lions gets herself a bomb to left field. And for Becca Ross, her second home run of the season.
And the wind blowing out to left field, but I don't think that had any effect on that ball. That ball was struck pretty hard on a line and got out of here pretty quick. So
Lady Lions will take a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Ross has been hitting just .208 coming into the game, but has really been the best piece for Piedmont at that hot corner, working at third base throughout the season. So defensively has really been her strong point, but able to give the Lady Lions the lead here. And Drew, we talked about it, that tournament atmosphere. No better time to rise to the occasion than in a big-time spot like that.
absolutely, give your team a one-run lead. Put some pressure on the Cougars as the innings start to pass here.
Bottom four, it's a 2-1 game in favor of Piedmont. 0-1 count after Haley McCurry fouls that one back. Once again, we'll send it straight back behind home plate and down in the count 0-2. Heron gets the call, strikeout looking, give her 5 strikeouts in the game. McCurry strikes out for the second time this game. Lady Lions score 1 on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. Piedmont leads it 2-1 as we head to the 5th. Second batter in the order due up for the Cougars, Ashley Carbajal. 0 for 2, looking for her first hit of the game. We'll take strike 1 right down the middle from Ekman. Carbajal, Wright, and Grant due up for the Cougars. Ekman once again sends it right down Main Street, and it's an 0-2 count. Looking for the outside edge, just a bit outside, and the count runs to 1-2. That ball dies in the infield. Not able to get there in time is Gentry, the second baseman. And it just came to a dead stop about 2 feet in front of home plate. Coker runs up, gets it, but able to beat out the throw is Carbajal. So give her a bunt single.
So that'll bring up Amanda Wright. Carbajal on the move, steals. Nobody there to take the throw, so she's in safely. Good job by Gentry to back that play up.
Absolutely. A blind throw by Coker. There was nobody to field the end of it, so nice work by Gentry to keep it from being more trouble, but a stolen base there for Carbajal will put her in scoring position. Wright has been walked and struck out. With a 1-1 count, nobody out. Top 5.
Talk about stepping up your game for tournaments. Wright last year in the championship came in as a pinch hitter, hit an inside the park 2-run home run to tie the game, force extra innings, and the Cougars ended up winning the title last year.
No bigger way to make an impact than an inside the park home run. Ekman gets the signal from Coker, the 2-2 offering. Popped up, giving chase to Piedmont athletes. It's TK Sauls and Haley McCurry. A little miscommunication. Nobody calls for it. Both give way, and it drops right between them. Single will put runners on the corners.
Now batting for the Cougars, number 4, Andrea Grant.
Right now with her first hit of the game. 2 hits now to the first 2 batters in this inning. 1-0 count.
Cougars with another opportunity to add to their score, but see if they can come through here.
Sent out to left field. Just foul. That one spelled trouble if it stayed fair. We talked about how evenly matched these teams are, and you can see it here as it's a one-run game. It's been close throughout, and Piedmont takes the lead, but the Cougars come back and are threatening here with another great scoring opportunity with 2 on and no out. But quickly, 2 outs on the board. Unfortunate for Wright. Caught off the bag and stranded in the middle. Gentry coming up, making a great play at second to get the pop-up. And the double play turned as Wright off the bag at first. And Gentry gets it over to Hoban in time. So 1 on the base paths with 1 out. That runner, though, at third with Nicole Cawthon at the plate. Cawthon now with a 1-1 count.
Right fielder, number 1, Madison Gibbons.
Carbajal at third. 1-1 pitch. Sent out, and that's going to drop in right field. 1 will score to tie the game. And another in scoring position, an RBI double for Nicole Cawthon. And we are knotted up at 2 in the top of the 5th.
Cougars finally come through with runners in scoring position. They left 6 runners on today, including 4 in scoring position. So Cawthon with a nice double and ties things up for the Cougars, gives them some additional life.
Collins shows bunt, pulls back, and will take ball 1. Had a sac bunt in her last time up at the plate.
Second baseman, number 19, Carlin Levitan.
Once again, showing bunt. Will pull back. That pitch gets past Coker. No throw. And now Cawthon at third. 2-0 pitch will be a called strike one, finds the inside half. Tied at 2, top 5, 2 outs on the board, and another at third for the Cougars. Coker holds it, trying to get the call, but it's a bit too high. And it's a 3-1 count. Finds the zone, and now a full count with 2 outs for Ekman. Fouled back as Collins continues to fight. 4 walks given up by Ekman so far today. Popped up. We'll see if someone will call for it this time. Indeed, the second baseman, Allison Gentry, comes up with the grab. 1 run scored on 3 hits, no errors, 1 left on your score. Tied at 2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. You're watching the 2018 USA South Softball Tournament in LaGrange, Georgia. Home half of the 5th. TK Sauls leading off for Piedmont. It's Sauls, Hickson, and back to the top of the order with Gentry. Pops up, calling for it, and making the grab is Mackenzie Collins. Sauls retired on the pop-up, bringing up Haley Hickson. Hickson had a sacrifice bunt to advance Sauls after a walk earlier in the game. Back up at the plate for the second time. We'll take strike 1. Bottom 5, tied at 2. A swing and a miss. And Hickson down in the count 0-2. O2 offering popped up. That'll just get out of play over the net behind home plate. Hickson will step out and then resettle in the box. The 0-2 offering low and away for ball 1. Wind still blowing out toward left center, sometimes whipping around. Now, of course, making a liar out of me as it goes to right center.
That's how it always happens.
Sent right toward the second baseman, sending it over and making the play is Carbajal. And Hickson out on the 4-3 ground out. Back to the top of the order for the Lions. Gentry coming up, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to left. Popped up, that'll get out of play. And will hit on the bleachers on the visiting side. A Heron looking for a 3-up, 3-down inning. Oh, 1 pitch. A bit high, pulls Cook out of her stance. Can't quite get to it. No harm, though, as no one on the base paths. Simple ball 1. One pitch. Just a bit outside for a 2-1 count. A 3-1 count now for Gentry. A 3-1 offering sent out to left field, but running back and making the over-the-shoulder grab is Griffiths for the final out. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on, and we head to the 6th inning, tied at 2. Cook at the plate with an 0-1 count. Top 6. Cook sends it just past the outstretched glove of Ross. It'll trickle out into left field, and Cook aboard with a single, her first hit of the game.
Now batting for the Cougars, number 9.
Cook coming in today batting .212, but has really come on strong these last couple of games. Had a multi-hit game recently, and gets aboard here for Mallory Griffiths.
7 hits now for the Cougars in this contest. Griffith shows bunt.
They're going to call Griffiths out of the box, and she's going to be out. And that'll send Cook back to first base.
It was a nice piece of hitting. It was towing the line there down the third base side as Ross was coming up to make the grab. Would have been a tough play to make as it was a nicely placed bunt, but now 1 out on the board with Cook still awaiting at first. Essence Pulliam awaiting the first pitch from Ekman. Takes strike 1.
We've seen that call with the rule change this year with out of the box. It used to be you had to have your whole foot out. Now it's like any part of your foot, and a lot of slap hitters are really struggling with that rule.
Yeah, we saw it certainly a lot in the regular season. Not the first time we've seen it here in the tournament. 0-2 pitch. Outstretched grab by TK Sauls going back cross body.
Now batting number 16.
We saw Pulliam
Caitlin
strike out in her
Hager.
last at bat with that, trying to chase after that far pitch away, able to make contact that time, and Sauls was running over but able to make the grab across her body.
Cook was headed to second base. I think it was a hit and run for the Cougars, and Sauls was making her way over to second and able to, as you said, lean back and get it. What a great play by the shortstop.
We talked about those freshmen that have really been able to make some big impacts for both of these teams at that shortstop position, earning her keep right there. 0-1 pitch. Rides outside and high. 1-1 count. One offering finds the zone, and it's a 1-2 count. Popped up, calling for it once again is Sauls. Squeezes it in the glove and makes the play. No run scored on one hit, no errors, one left on. Heading to the bottom of the sixth, Averett and Piedmont tied at 2. Leading off for Piedmont will be number 2, Marianne Kinnison. Kinnison with an RBI triple earlier in the game. 2 for 2, had a bunt single as well. Shows bunt. Pulls back and will take ball 1.
Yeah, Kennison with 2 of Piedmont's 3 hits. The only other hit was Becca Ross's home run.
One-0 pitch popped up. Will be out of play for a 1-1 count. One pitch on the way to Kinnison. Swing and a miss. Down in the count 1-2. Due up for Piedmont, it's Kinnison, Coker, and Bagwell. And as Drew mentioned, just 3 hits for Piedmont so far today, 2 of them from Kinnison. 1-2 pitch will be low. Kinnison patient. And we'll take ball 2. Full count now for Kinnison as she awaits the payoff pitch. Sent toward third, gloved and sent over in time. Grant makes the play, and Kinnison retired on the 5-3 ground out.
Now batting number 3, Josie Coker.
Brings up Josie Coker. Struck out in her last appearance. Swing and a miss by Coker. 1 out on the board. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, tied at 2. 6 teams making their way to LaGrange for the USA South softball tournament. A long foul ball sent out past the left field. Piedmont, the number 2 seed from the West. Averett, the number 3 seed from the East. Winner of this game set to take on East seed number 1 Salem. That game at 2 p.m. today. 1-2 count to Coker.
And a good off-speed pitch by Aaron. Gives her another strikeout. That's her 6th of the day.
Impressive work with 6 strikeouts now. Coker striking out twice. Bagwell puts the first one she sees into play. Sent over from the shortstop, and Collins gets it there in time. 3 up, 3 down, nothing doing for Piedmont in the bottom of the 6th. We head to the 7th. We're tied at 2 between Averett and Piedmont. Two, 3, 4 hitters due up for the Cougars here in the top of the 7th. You're watching the 2018 USA South softball tournament. Piedmont taking on Averett. These two tied at 2, coming down to the wire in the top of the 7th inning.
Carbajal 1 for 3 today with a run scored.
Working with a 1-1 count from Ekman. One, 2 count now. Is that thrown back in now? Carbajal, Wright, and Grant. waiting to face Ekman. Coker traps it, keeps it between her legs, and able to block it, but nobody on with the leadoff hitter here for the Cougars. 2-2 count. Popped up, but that one will head out of play.
Top of the sixth for Covenant, center fielder number 17, Erica Mass.
Fouled off the umpire's face mask. Looks like he's okay, though.
He'll take it off and resettle. We'll see a quick meeting in the circle with the left side of the infield.
A little courtesy meeting so the umpire can
Yeah.
make sure he's okay.
Give him a moment. All good. 2-2 count. 2-2 ball game. Tied in the top of the seventh. Popped up. Calling for it is Kinnison, and this time communication key is he might have had a little miscommunication earlier in the game, but Kinnison calls off Sauls, makes the grab, and that brings up Amanda Wright.
Right, 1 for 2. Had the single that was part of that communication error earlier. Dropped it in just in shallow center field.
Wright takes ball one. Wright reached on that single, but then was retired on a double play turned by the Lions infield. Sends that one out deep, and Hickson will watch it land near the scoreboard. Second home run of the game for the Cougars. Another solo shot, this time for Amanda Wright. Give the Cougars the 3-2 lead in the top of the seventh. Hickson could do nothing but stand and watch it sail over her head. 210 down the lines, and that one clearing with plenty of distance.
Wright probably has the strongest bat on the Cougar team, and when she gets behind one, she can send it flying and gives the Cougars the lead here in the seventh inning. Piedmont going to appeal at second base. I think they thought that maybe she missed second. However, the umpire says she did, in fact, touch it. Not a bad idea. Pull out all the tricks. You never know what could happen.
Hey, it's conference tournament. Don't hold anything back at this point. Popped up, and that one lands in front of the press box area facing the opposite field. They had a better view than us.
Third baseman, number 25, Shade Epps.
0-1 count to Grant. She'll take ball one on the outside edge. Again, winner of this one set to take on Salem. As we saw the Spirits here earlier, keeping an eye on this contest. Pitch misses low, and now a 3-1 count as the Cougars dugout lively. Grant awaiting the 3-1 pitch, fouled back. And now a full count. 1 out, nobody on, leading by 1 in the top of the seventh. Popped up, it's another deep ball into the outfield, But calling for it, making the grab, is Marianne Kinnison. Kinnison responsible for both outs so far in the frame.
Now batting for the Cougars,
Bringing
number
up
21,
Nicole Coffin.
Coffin, her last time up, had the run-tying or game-tying RBI double to right field. She's 2 for 3 today.
Takes strike one. 2 outs, nobody on. Cougars leading by 1. Sent right toward first. Hoban stretched out her glove, but it is a foul ball. As Cawthon now down in the count 0-2. (0-2) pitch once again sent foul. This time down the left field line. The 0-2 pitch from Ekman outside for ball 1. Coker sliding over in her stance to make the grab.
Leading off the bottom of the 6th for Meredith, left fielder number 22, Haley Irvin.
1-2 pitch, again low and away. McCurry shading over to right center, so a big gap in left center field. Or right up the middle. 2-2 pitch popped up, calling for it. Making the grab in foul territory is Becca Ross. But not before the Cougars able to take the lead. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. Cougars putting Piedmont on high alert. Trailing by 1, heading into the bottom of the 7th. Down to the final 3 outs. It's tournament time. You're watching the 2018 USA South Softball Tournament here in LaGrange, Georgia. Bottom 7, Piedmont down to the final 3 outs, trailing by 1. It's Hannah Hoban first up at the plate for the Lady Lions. Swings on the first pitch and fouls it off.
And defensive change for the Cougars now playing in right field is number 5, Brianna Harris, coming in for Amanda Wright, who hit the go-ahead home run. Defensive switch for the Cougars.
0-1 pitch is going to be sent out to left field, but right there to make the grab is Mallory Griffiths. And 1 out on the board down to the final 2.
Number 11, Becca Ross.
Becca Ross had the solo home run for the Lady Lions. 1 for 2 on the day with a strikeout as well. Makes contact. And now it's down to 1 out after a ground out to third.
Another solid play by Andrea Grant over on the hot corner. She's had a couple come her way pretty hard and has made a play on all of them.
We'll see Coach Terry Martin making a pinch hitting change as McCurry was 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. I believe it'll be number 21, Madeline Califoot.
Pinch running at first for Meredith, number 11, Elizabeth.
Pinch hitting for the Lions, number 21, Madeline Califoot.
At bat, third baseman, number 1, Brittany Buckland.
Califoot batted .263 on the year coming into today.
Saw some time in the outfield, so if Piedmont were to tie it up and force extras, it would be likely to see Califoot remain in the field. Swing and a miss, though, for strike 1. And now down to the final 2 strikes of the final out, trailing by 1. One last chance with an 0-2 count. Cougars trying to move on and face Salem later today. 0-2 pitch rides high. Popping up to grab it is Cook.
Looked like one of those adrenaline pitches. You just let it ride, and a little too much behind that one for Ahearn.
And a strikeout swinging will put an end to this one. Cougars moving on. Ahearn with the complete game. Cougars win it 3-2. And we'll move on to face Salem later today. Cougars moving to 19-20 on the season. Lady Lions dropping to 22-16. Complete schedule information can be found on the USA South tournament website. You can head to usasouth.net, and under the championships link, full softball tournament website can be found. The losers bracket, the Lady Lions will be moving on to play against the loser of Game 4. That game will be Maryville against the winner of this morning's contest between Covenant and Meredith. They are finishing up that contest as we speak. So Lady Lions will play Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Busy full weekend of tournament action, complete through Saturday and Sunday, of course. For all schedule information, make sure to stay tuned to the USA South website with the weather situation upcoming for the weekend. You can also stay tuned and follow along on Twitter at USA_South to make sure that you are up to date with the tournament action. Drew Wilson will be along with you for the rest of the ride. Make sure that you stay tuned to the broadcast. For Drew Wilson, I'm Danielle Percival, and we'll see you next time. Cougars take it 3-2.